One of the challenges we face in our society is the access to scientific tools is limited. And so we've been building and developing tools and technologies to make the experience of science more accessible. And an example of that happens to be a tool called Foldscope, which we try to deploy so that almost every single kid in the planet will have a chance to experience the microscopic wonders of biological systems. So Foldscope is an origami microscope, something that you put together with your own hands. It takes 5-10 minutes to put together, and it allows you to dive into the microscopic world and essentially do microscopy almost anywhere. And one of the perspectives of Foldscope is you should just compare it as a pencil of microscopy. Just like you carry around a pencil in your pocket, you would carry a microscope around, and the moment an inspiration or an idea strikes, you should be able to just really dive in and look at the microscopic scale. Yeah. Okay, so let's go outside because that's going to be far more fun. And I just got a whole bunch of spider eggs. It's really valuable to just have the students document. And my intuition is those are egg sacs. So we might be able to catch some. We could spend...
Oh, that's what I wanted, right there.
Yeah, so this is a type of a sponge. And there's also a whole bunch of algae and just... All right, we're ready to go back. Feel the view. So hold here and here. And now you have to describe, tell us what you see. Do you see the fibers?
I do, yes.
But do you see the little carbon soot?
Yes.
The black dot?
Definitely see the legs and the looks like little pinchers on
You
the
see
mouth.
the jaws? Yeah. Yeah. And then if you pay close attention, you will see these little holes in the head. Those are the... Oh, so I can see the jaw muscle. This is actually really, really fun. I can, if you pay attention into the mandible, and again, your color will change. The moment I point it to the tree, you will see a different shade. Suddenly you move it to the white light, you'll see this different contrast. So move around, and you will notice in the pincers, there are these jaw muscles that it's like a striations. So hold here and just point it out. And what do you see?
I see it, it's right there. That's great.
You have to tell us what you see.
Oh my God. I'm just surprised.
Oh, that is
I'm
neat.
really surprised.
So one thing that I'm doing is that. And I think one thing you should do is if you had a pencil or something and sketch what you see. That's the most common thing I do especially for teaching kids. That's the one thing that they don't often do. So it becomes very important to just share how they would just draw. And you don't want to be shy from using more tape because this needs to be mechanically strong. Because if this is moving around, then your image is moving around. And then for this purposes, let's also use the light module as well, because now we will sit down and really image this. So what I'm doing is I'm just going wherever I want to be, right there. So there seems to be this green algae that I'm seeing in there. We'll do that.
I'm trying to get your little skin.
Oh,
There.
yeah.
Got you
Yay.
something. That's what I wanted.
There. We knew that people would do creative things, but the explosive nature of what people did with it is really the most heartwarming story for me. Many people have said the most fun they have in science is when they not only just discover something, but when they tell somebody what they discovered. To me, what's most important about this tool is not just to the service of science, but science to the service of these people. What is the community gaining out of it? And that's what my goal is. Why is it that we don't move towards a society where people are actually engaged in scientific discovery to a point where they have some role to play directly in it? What I would love is this turns into conversations that continue beyond this moment. because most of the time, workshops happen, people come together, and so there is an online community that we created primarily for that, and I'll just show that site. And one thing that I would urge definitely for everybody is, I think we're all in some sense have the opportunity to engage, and you all are mentors to many kids, and that's the most valuable thing. So this is the ask, give and take. I mean, this is what I'm bringing to the table, and what you have to bring to the table is that beyond this day, that you think of this as a community, and I think there's lots of fun things about this community that, of course, will enrich your own classrooms as well.